Babala high five di. High five. Oh.
So the sport is called triathlon. It is basically 3 different sports: swimming, biking, and then running. Ironman is one of the events and probably the most recognized event in the world. The single day toughest event in the entire world, and probably 0.1% of the world population has done it so far.
Welcome to the 3,000 athletes to celebrate 25 years of the Airways. Ironman, Klagenfurt, Austria. Swim, bike, run, and the dreams come true on the magic carpet on the shores of the river.
I've been into football all my life, and one day post-COVID, the games stopped because we couldn't get 10 people together. And then I had to keep my fitness. So like the entire world, I also started cycling. Did 10 kilometers, 20, 30, 40, 100. Felt that I could do more. So along with cycling, I started running. I didn't know what Ironman or triathlon was. And one of our friends had already done a half Ironman. So we sort of started discussing with him, what is it?
Hi, me Priyas Chatre. I have my own business and we have our software and back office operations. Basically, I started running in 2014. We did half marathon, then did full marathon. Then thought, what next? Everybody around was doing Ironman. So decided to take a plunge in it, and in 2022 did a half Ironman.
And at that point of time, he said it is a 1.9 kilometer swim, 90 kilometer bike, and a 21 kilometer run. And at that itself felt very daunting. We looked at a few places where we could find coaching for it, and I think probably the topmost name was Kaustub's name. So October 21 is when me and Chinmay, my best friend, we started.
So hi, my name is Chinmay, and I work at Capgemini in the engineering design field. So me and Amit have been buddies since school. So just on one of our runs, we had a chat as to can we do a triathlon. Actually, we didn't even know what an Ironman was. So after that thought, we kind of researched and we knew about, we got to know about Ironman. And so we started to look for coaches, and then we contacted Kaustub. So that's how it just started.
I'm Dr. Kaustub Radkar. I'm a 38-time Ironman finisher. I'm the only coach at Brad Strong Coaching, and we have successfully created more than 300 Ironmans. We were the pioneers for Ironman coaching in India.
Since the beginning, it was both of our plan. So we were going to train together anyways. But then we joined Rad Strong, and we got to know a lot of other people who were training for the same thing. So from there, the camaraderie started.
So we had about 9 of us participating in that event, each one coming with their own background and their own journeys.
Yeah, so my name is Tanmay Nahar. I work with Goldman Sachs, and I am also a professor for marketing management at a B school here in Pune.
Yeah, my name is Ashish Sandhu. I work with railways for 28 years, and now I'm looking after a business.
My name is Nikhil Dixit. I'm a former Ranji Trophy player, ex-banker, and I am currently into wealth management business.
Hello, my name is Samir Inamdar. I work in the IT industry.
For me personally, the challenge was that it was a very diverse group. Everyone had their own set of challenges, whether it's with the swim, with the bike, with the run, or personal, professional challenges. So curating a training plan that would meet everyone's desires was going to be interesting for me.
Swimming was really bad for me. I got tired. I had almost thought of quit.
Swimming 3.8 kilometers was not a challenge for me. I knew a little swimming, so I never thought that much about swimming. But the main part which I felt was really grueling was the cycle. Biking for 180 kilometers at a stretch is no mean joke. So that was the most challenging part in Ironman for me.
I was a water polo player, so I was associated with swimming. Yeah, it was the same. Bike was a challenge.
I was never into sports right from my school days. It's all acquired hobby. I was into running. Running still happens to be my strongest sport.
Since childhood, I have been into sports. I grew up playing basketball in school and college. And sports and fitness has always been my passion. And for the past 3 to 4 years, I have been running a lot.
So the training is probably similar for anyone who does Ironman throughout the world, but I think the geographic conditions and the sort of weather conditions play a role in terms of how the training goes through.
And I think we started training around September, knowing that we would have to face these challenges. So the basic idea was to get everyone's aerobic capacity to a level where they would be comfortable knowing that they could successfully finish the race. And then on my end, knowing that the last 3 months we would have to alter training plans with some short, intense sessions, but making sure that everyone was good to go.
So most our journeys actually started somewhere in January, February, because the race was supposed to be in June. Since we already had done a half Ironman, there was a base in terms of training. We typically have 2 to 3 swims, 2 to 3 runs, and 2 to 3 bike sessions. And as the race comes closer, the duration and the level of the workout increases.
2 to 3 months prior to race, it was all peak training, and it was challenging, no doubt, because we had to all manage our personal and professional lives and fit the training into that. There was no cutting corners during the training, because if you want to succeed on the race day, you have to go through that grind. It was good to know that there are multiple people going through that same grind, those same challenges with you.
They had a couple people who had done an Ironman before, so it helps to have a helping hand, knowing what you have been through the process. The key of the Ironman is the long training sessions, and the more you do, everyone goes through their own set of emotions, whether it's the challenge of waking up and getting to the start line, or through the session. Like I said, it was extremely hot and humid. So then finding ways to make it motivating for everyone, but also safe. So for example, they did a few long rides outside, and within them they had decided which drivers are going to be there for the cycle leg. As a rule, they stopped almost every hour or every 30k, 40k, assembled, hydrated, ate, and then kept on going. So internally, it was good to see the leadership qualities amongst them, the bonding, taking care of each other.
Yeah, for the bike route, we used to do a lot of rides with elevations.
One thing which was really memorable for me was the rides that we did at Patsgani and Mahabeshwar for this training for this Ironman Austria, because at Austria there is an elevation of about 2000 meters on the cycle. So that's the hard part, and with everyone getting up early at 4 a.m, starting the ride at 4:30, that was an experience itself. And the main thing was the fun we had after the rides.
We used to joke a lot, and I think that sort of removed the whole feeling of being in this entire strict regime. It was always fun. I think we just used to keep on joking around about each other's stroke and correction and pulling our legs if I'm slower, faster, the typical sort of jokes that you could find in training. And I think that made it the biggest fun that we could have was during the training. When we started off, the water was freezing in Pune. So most of our swims happen around 5:30, and it just felt, you just take God's name and dive into the pool in the morning. And but once you're in the pool, you have to do the workout and come out of it. I think running was okay, because running is something where it's a activity that you can enjoy. And biking was the toughest mentally, because You are supposed to sit on the bike for 4 to 5 hours non-stop, and it starts getting hot as the day progresses. And once that happens, you start having all these questions as to how stupid were you to sign up for such a thing, and why are you doing all of these things? What's the need for it?
It's a paid pain. You're just self-inflicted pain, and you're also paying through your nose for this.
The key is the last few days of the race, how each athlete mentally is ready. Some are talkative, some become very quiet. On my end, I was trying to be virtually available, but it's not the same as physically being present. But I always tell people that an Ironman race is just one day. It's the 6 months of training prior that changes you as an individual.
Because triathlon is a self-consuming sport. It is a lot of me. Most of the time, it's a very individual sport, and you have to appreciate people who have helped you along the way. I didn't go here, I didn't go there, I didn't go out for dinners, I had to say no. But it was all the family members also who had to take my no and not go out or not do that. So I think that's the feeling you get once you are done with it, a feeling of gratitude for sure.
So when Amit first told me that he's going to do the Ironman, I think my first reaction was, why?
My first reaction was probably, वेडायस का? का?
आणि खरं सांगू का, सो वी ऑल्सो सॅक्रिफाईस्ड. त्याच्या घरी आल्यानंतर जो एक छानसं एक्सपेक्टेशन नेहमी असायचं की, पण तोच घेत नव्हता, त्यामुळे लाजे खादर फारच त्याच्याबरोबर आमचाही सॅक्रिफाईस खूप झालाय असं मला म्हणायचं. पण मला खरंच कौतुक आमचं आहेच नक्कीच, त्यांनीच सगळं केलंय, पण कौतुक रमाचं पण आहे.
कारण त्याच्या वेळांना तो बाहेर जाणार आणि तो वर्कआउटला जाणार, पण त्यावेळेला तिने पूर्णपणे घर आणि निहिरा परफेक्ट मॅनेज केलं.
खरंच.
And also because Nihira was barely one, plus like a lot of work pressure, plus baby pressure, plus this, because you need a lot of discipline. You need to follow a certain, schedule, and like it's difficult to combine all of these three things together.
Yeah. He wanted masala. So I think he decided to do full Ironman when I was expecting. Initially my reaction was okay, good, and then it went downhill from there. Yeah, it was a big life changer for me. And to be honest, in the first year, when you have a child, that child requires utmost care and attention from its parents. So one parent was there, but the other one was quite busy, I would say, in his mornings. So it was tough managing her, handling her alone in the mornings. And my mental state, I would say, to be honest, can I say angry? Okay, now I'll say good things, sir. So he became way more disciplined, because Ironman requires a lot of training, a lot of mental grit along with the physical training. So every day, despite waking up every night, every hour because of our daughter Nihira, he used to be up at 4:35, go for his training sessions and be back by 7:30, and then work the whole day. So that required a lot of mental grit, training, discipline and stamina. So that was a big positive change in him. I think it also helped him in his workplace. Maybe it helped him tackle his everyday stress. So that was a positive change. So I was handling one Nihira, one Amit, and one Amit in his Ironman persona. So yes, I was handling 3 kids at a time. So I think over here, setting boundaries is what helped me. Amit's, in the sense, everything related to Ironman, his race, the preparation, I asked him to please contain all that in one room in the house, because the rest of the house was for our baby. So that really helped, because all those things were out of mind, out of sight for me. So I could just focus on Nihira, and then Amit could focus on Ironman.
Thank God for giving me a superhuman ability, which is called rhino skin. or in Marathi you call Gendachi Katadi. And I think that is probably the only thing which is required for you to get through this process.
अख्ख्या त्या विलेजमध्ये ते जे काय क्लॅगनफर्टला क्रिएट केलं होतं विलेज, आयर्नमॅन विलेज, सगळे जे आलेले पार्टिसिपेंट्सचे रिलेटिव्स, फ्रेंड्स आणि हे विशेष असं वाटलं की फक्त स्वतःच्या पार्टिसिपेंट करता ते चेअरअप करत नव्हते. स्विमिंग करताना म्हणा किंवा सायकलिंग करताना जो माणूस समोर येईल प्रत्येक जण प्रत्येकाला कम ऑन कीप इट अप, यू कॅन डू इट, यू कॅन डू इट, असं हे शेवटपर्यंत सगळ्यांचं चालू होतं. ते खूप विशेष वाटलं.
माझी रिॲक्शन म्हणजे अरे बापरे अशी होती, कारण ही खूप डिफिकल्ट टास्क आहे हे मी वाचलं होतं, ऐकलं होतं आणि आपला अमितच करतोय म्हणल्यावर मला अरे बापरे झालं.
आय वॉज थ्रिल्ड. अमितनी हाफ आयर्नमॅन केलं होतं आणि तो याच्याकरता ट्राय करतोय, त्यामुळे तो करू शकेल असं मला वाटलं होतं. पण ही टास्क खूप मोठी आहे असं मी तेव्हा म्हणलो. तो जो सगळा इव्हेंट होता, इट वॉज सच अ बिग इव्हेंट आणि इट वॉज टेस्ट ऑफ एन्ड्युरन्स अँड एव्हरीथिंग. आणि आम्हाला अमित हे करताना आणि असे हजारो लोक करताना त्याच्याबरोबर सपोर्टिव्ह म्हणून जाताना आम्हाला खूपच छान वाटलं, मजा आली खूप.
I also felt a lot of gratitude for my family, for my friends who supported me during this race.
I think our work is pretty easy and chill. Main work is done by the triathletes. They are the ones who need to train for it and actually be there on that day for 14-15 hours, do what they've been training for so many months. For us, it's just to be there for moral support, make sure that they don't give up mentally, because it's more of a mental game is what I've been told, and I'm sure it is.
I think the race day experience for me was something I've never seen before. Like the excitement even the day before was palpable. You could see everyone kind of gearing up for the next day. You know, every time we were talking about anything, it was about schedule for the next day. Who's going to be where? Who's going to go pick up someone? Who's going to go drop somebody? How are we going to manage? Because they were going to shut the whole town down. We wouldn't be able to get in and out. We all had to decide exactly where we were going to be at every single time, just so that we could each kind of be involved in his journey through the whole race and get to see him as much as possible.
So I stood in the line of 130 to 140 and there were only 4 people in that line. Everyone else was before that. So I think I just felt a little ashamed and then moved one line before, like all 4 of us. From the first person who went into the water to we were the last people to go into the water, it was about a good 40-minute wait. And as the announcer keeps on taking names and he's just trying to up the crowd because everyone is so tense, right? You know, you're just going into the water and it's going to be a 14-hour day.
एक तो अनाउन्सर होता किंवा डीजे होता, कोण होता, तो एक कायम एक खूप छान म्हणत होता की हे सगळं आहे ना, हे तुम्ही स्वतःसाठी करताय आणि स्वतः तुम्ही डिसाईड केलाय तसं करताय. यू आर डुईंग इट फॉर युअर सेल्फ. Nobody has compelled you to do it. Correct. आणि म्हणून तुम्ही हसा.
And once you're in water, you can't like get out. Like you have to finish and get out because during bike and run, you can breathe, you can walk, you can take a break, just stand down from the cycle. But with a swim, you just have to swim. And I remember coming out of the water, it felt like I have just landed from the moon because for 1.5 hours. There was no blood flow in the legs, and then you quickly stand up and then you get disoriented for almost a minute or so because there are so many people yelling at you. They're cheering you on. Your parents, family are looking at you, so you don't know where to look when the camera comes. So I finished the swim and then moved into the bike course.
I think the dangers that anyone faces is their own mind maybe for cycling, because 180 kilometers of cycling is just too hard, not just physically but mentally also.
I pushed on the first 1 hour and then I realized that this is not going correctly because I had not anticipated the elevation, that 1950 meters of elevation. I am a good biker, but it was a struggle.
The elevation was humongous for me, at least 1700 was huge. And during the last fag end of the race, when the elevation was there, I mean, it was really, really tough. To the point that I had exhausted all my gears which will take me through, and I failed. So yeah, I got up again and then started, and that was the point where I realized that now I think I should be able to finish it off.
I was able to do the second loop much better than the first loop. And then again, once you finish the bike, again you feel that my race is over because now the bike section is over and you're already 9 to 10 hours into the race. And then I moved into a full marathon. I started running. I had never done a full marathon ever. Like the full marathon is 42.2. So the maximum I had done was 21.1, which is a half marathon, and not even like 10 meters more than 21.1. The full marathon distance itself was a unknown territory. And then I started running. I finished my first 10 kilometers and my watch went off. So the moment my battery went off, I think I was in the rhythm and I never had to, look at my heart rate or whatever it is. And I kept on going. Random people cheering you on. We've never met in life. And that was interesting. I remember like my father-in-law running with me for like 100 meters. And I told him, listen, don't run. I'm going to come back. You take it easy. Wait for me. I said that. And I started walking. I was like, this was I think at 35th kilometer, and I was zoned out. And the last 3 kilometers, I remember I was trying to just think, but I was blank. I was completely blank for those 3 kilometers.
Literally, I think there were about 16 minutes left for him to complete, and Dad was standing next to me, and the tracker was stuck, and Dad was like, काहीतरी झालंय, हे जातच नाही पुढे, काहीतरी झालंय. But finally, we saw him. There were about 2 minutes left for him to finish the race, and so there was a U-turn, a roundabout that he had to take and cross that and then come to the finish line. And when he saw him for the first time coming that last 1 mile, that was the only reaction, like, go for it. It's like last 1 minute left.
I have heard from my coach that you have to see the finish line. You walk, crawl, run, whatever you want to do, you have to see the finish line end of the day. So you keep on moving. It doesn't matter what pace you are moving with, but you have to see that finish line.
यश हे मिळो किंवा न मिळो, पण मेहनत ही जरूर आहे.
एका शब्दात सांगायचं झालं तर संपवली. आमच्याकडे एक जण आहे, तो म्हणतो जाऊ देत मोरे संपून टाकू. त्यातला आम्ही संपून टाकू हा विषय पूर्ण केला.
I mean, the true word is exhausted.
No, it's amazing. It's thrilling experience seeing the finish line.
Yeah, I've done it, and yes, I'm satisfied.
I felt a lot of satisfaction.
Very, very, very fulfilling, very satisfying.
Ecstatic. One of the bigger reasons why I try to do this is with my train is because it's a very emotional moment, whether it's your first one or it's your 5th one or your 10th one. That finish line is unique.
That is what Ironman's subline is, that anything is possible. And I was probably one of the youngest person in my group to finish. The oldest one was 67. So you can just imagine at what age people can do some miraculous things.
Like a outcome, they can vent out all their frustration and get into that discipline and training, and it helps him to get that focus in. So that's how it helped him mentally.
Actually, when I moved into triathlon, the whole idea of finishing a workout, finishing it in a given time, doing it again and again and again, and going through that particular experience actually helped me in more ways than ever, because it just changed my attitude. Trying to reach that finish line, crossing that finish line, that translated back into business for me. Gave me a sense of patience, ability to take on whatever comes my way, whatever it is. But I've always been up for challenges. The profession that I am in, it is a very high risk, high reward sort of a profession, and it is a high achiever sort of a profession. So I felt that was something right up my alley, and that's why I actually moved into or started thinking about it. And
we were waiting on the side of the road for him, and I think that was the best moment of the Ironman race for me and Mihira.
सो मिहिरा हे एक मोठं मोटिवेशन होतं असं मला वाटतं.
मला माहिती होतं की तो नक्की हे पूर्ण करणार.
many more Ironmans to go?
Count is not there, but I'm hoping that the same group will come to Hamburg. Looking forward to Ashish and Amit to sign up. Once then we'll follow the suit.
I just heard that you registered for Ironman Hamburg under tremendous pressure. But then once you registered, I heard you say that you want to complete that in 11 hours.
I am glad whosoever fiction of imagination that is, I admire it. 11 hours is only destiny will decide what lies ahead.
How many more?
I mean, we all are planning to do one more next year. Amit will also join us. And
I guess just take the plunge. Do it. Just do it. That's what I will say. All the other aspects of training and all will come along. If you put your mind to it, I think you can do it easily and you can come on top and be an Ironman.